So thank you for joining us today for this session about videos in Brightspace. I'm going to start out with some basic things. Let's see. I'm going to start out by sharing my screen. There we go. I'm going to start out with some basic things, and those of you who've been using Brightspace for a while might know about these, but I think it'll be a good idea for us to just sort of review the fundamentals, and I'll be on the same page and for everyone to have a chance to ask questions about how things work. So we're going to start with the idea that you already have video. We're not actually creating video. This is once you have the video created or you're using a video from another site, how do you actually share it with your students? I'm going to go into a course. This is what I call my consult course. It's just a place where I put things to show people, and I'm going to go into the content page. Now, any place in this content page where I get a text box, so I can hover over add a description and it turns into the text box. Any place where I have a text box, I have multiple ways to share video with students. I can create a link to all sorts of different things like OneDrive, Google Drive, any URL that's on the internet. Or I can go here to, this is called, this little button I just clicked on, this is called the Insert Stuff button. It used to look a little different and be all the way over on the left. So it's changed over the summer. So you might have to search for it, but this is the Insert Stuff button. When you click on Insert Stuff, you have a couple of really easy options for video here. Well, 3 easy options for video. The first one I'm going to show you is YouTube. You can use existing YouTube videos. Like this is a video, something called the Castels, which is like human towers. They're really cool. I want my students in my Spanish class to be able to see the Castels. So I'm just going to grab, I don't know if you saw what I did there. I just highlighted and copied the YouTube link, and I'm just going to stick it right here. Next, and then insert. And even though this video is on YouTube, it makes the video look like it's in my course. It means if you have video that you've created, you can add it to YouTube. A lot of people love putting their stuff on YouTube because they can make it public if they want to. They can create a private link, which means anyone who has the link can view it, but it's not searchable just from the general internet. So that would allow you, if you create a private link, to use YouTube's ability to add captions, to have it not just on Vanderbilt's tools, but to have it on an external tool so that that video always belongs to you forever. Even if you leave Vanderbilt, you'll still have that video. So YouTube can be a great option. And anywhere that you see a text box, you can add a YouTube video. And in fact, I'm here in this content area. There's also a place here, this big blue button, where you can upload or create video or audio. And this is actually another place where it just lets me add in my YouTube link. And then it makes it look like this YouTube video is inside of Brightspace. So that's number 1. I'm going to go back into this text box. So click on Insert Stuff again, because the second option here for me is a video note. Now, I don't know if you guys are already using video notes. Anyone here already familiar with video notes? Well, these are like the Brightspace native tool. So when I click on video note, add a video note, it will give me the option to record. Oops, it doesn't like me to do that if I already am using my camera. So let me turn my real camera off. Go to add video note. This is the Brightspace native recording tool. It will let you record up to 30 minutes inside of Brightspace from within a course. So if you're giving instructions and you want to be able to give those instructions orally instead of having everything written in text all the time, you can just open up a video note and say what you want students to do in addition to or to supplement the text instructions that you've given. If you want to give a quick lecture and you don't need slides or anything, you just want to be able to talk to your students, you can open up the video note and do that here. Did I see a hand?
Question? Yes, this is fabulous. Because I'm opening up my course on Friday and I always do a welcome video for the students, which would probably be less than 30 minutes. This sounds great. Versus I always record it on Zoom and then download the, send them the link so they can watch it.
Yes, this will be simpler and you can put it anywhere you want. The other thing is once you create a video note, it saves it. So if you need to find it again later to put it somewhere else in the course, you can search for video notes you've already created and insert them in different places in the course if you want.
So where will it, like if I want to do a video note, you said you can put it anywhere. Will it go under like announcements or? Yeah,
if you go to your main page, I don't actually have an announcements page on this particular course. Let me just find a course that does have an announcements page. So this is like a welcome announcement, right? And it has everything here in writing. But I want to edit this announcement to add a welcome video. So I'm just gonna move the text out of the way, click insert stuff, go to add video note. Hi, welcome to the Brightspace Community Model course. This course is a place for you to look around, discover what all Brightspace can do, get some ideas, and learn more about its functionality. If you have questions, reach out to us at brightspace@vanderbilt.edu. I have to give it a title, so I'm going to call it Welcome. You can also set the audio language if you want and let it automatically generate captions. Now, these captions aren't perfect and they're also not editable. So this is a little bit of a gamble. It's like the captioning and accessibility features aren't as good as on Zoom, but it gets pretty close most of the time. I'm going to insert. Now it's just blank here because it's actually taken a minute to create the video, but it really only takes a minute. I click update. I'm going to go back to the main page. There's the video that I just created.
Oh, this is getting ready to be fun.
Good. You can put those video notes literally anywhere there's a text box. So let's say I'm in my course and I want to create an announcement or a content item, or maybe I even want to send my class an email. This is just a text box. I can use this text box to create a video note. I can put a video note in an email. Any place you see the Brightspace text box, you have 30 minutes worth of recording. That also applies to when you're giving feedback to students on their work. So if I click on the student submission, this assignments area, I forgot, it recently changed, so it's a little different. I have my video note recorder right here. So I can record up to 30 minutes of feedback on the student's work. So that means I could actually have their paper open on this side, read it, make any notes I want to, and record my video note with my feedback here. Sort of all on the same page, all in one fell swoop. Any other questions or feedback?
Are you available email? Because once I start driving and trying to do this, I'm not going to be able to do it, right?
Yeah, it's we are totally aware of that. So let me show you We have our on-demand resource guides, and you can actually reach these from inside Brightspace. This help button right here. One of the options at the help button is Brightspace Support at the CFT, and it takes you to our help site. You want to look for the on-demand resources for instructors, and almost everything I'm showing you today is detailed step by step. You just have to search for the right one. And if this feels like more than you can handle, you can always email us at brightspace@vanderbilt.edu. We are available 7 days a week until 11 p.m. most days. So we're very available. We want you to reach out. Okay, so we've seen if you have content on YouTube, someone else's or your own, you can link it, make it look like it's part of your course. If you want to create a video note as a content item or as an announcement or any place where you have a text box in Brightspace, you can do that. You can also search for your old video notes and put them in new places. But the last thing, the third way that you're going to be able to add videos is also with this insert stuff button, scrolling down to My Media. Now in Brightspace, we have a tool that's integrated that's called Kaltura. Oops, my video is still. It's called Kaltura Media. And sometimes it's called My Media. Sometimes it'll be called Media Gallery. And sometimes it's just called Kaltura Media. When you see My Media, that is taking you to your Kaltura Media Gallery. I happen to have many, many videos already uploaded to my Kaltura Media video gallery. And so I can pick any one of those, add it into my course, and sort of instantly deploy a video for my students that way. And that also is available every place where you have a video note. You also have the ability to add a Kaltura video. The tricky part is getting your videos into Kaltura. To do that, you're going to go to your homepage, just that main landing page, and you're going to click on My Media at the top. If you've never done this before, it's going to say something like, do you give permission to do something? And you have to say yes. And then you're going to end up on a page like this. Like I said, I have a lot of videos here already. If you're just starting, won't have any videos. And you can click Add New and then upload your videos. Any video that you've created in Zoom or that you've created using some other tool, or a video you've licensed through your program that you want to add to your course, you can do that by clicking here, clicking Media Upload. And then it'll be part of your Kaltura Media Gallery, so you can deploy it anywhere you want to any of your courses at any time without taking up a bunch of space in your Brightspace course and sort of making it weighed down because the videos are taking a long time to load. Kaltura is optimized so that students can watch these videos on mobile, so that they're easy to access from anywhere. And it also has accessibility tools like editable captions along the bottom, so that you can make sure that the videos you're adding also are accessible to people who maybe need multiple entry points. Any other comments? I yearn for your feedback. All right, now I'm going to pass the mic to Jenny Park. I don't know if you guys know Jenny. She's one of our newer instructional technologists. If you reach out to us at brightspace@vanderbilt.edu, you will sometimes talk to Jenny, particularly if it's on Saturday, because she's our Saturday lady. Take it away.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna start sharing this. So hello, I'm just gonna walk you through how to record videos through Kaltura using just your computer. And I've already started sharing my screen, so that's good. So as Stacey was saying, you're going to be in My Media tab. This is, let me backtrack a little bit. So this is on your Brightspace homepage's nav bar. Click the Add New button here, and you're going to go down to the Kaltura Capture option from this drop-down menu. If it's your first time opening the Kaltura Capture option, you're going to be prompted to download it at the bottom. But for me, I've already downloaded it. So I'm just going to select Open Kaltura Capture. So when you open up the Kaltura Capture desktop recorder, this is going to pop up. I'm going to go to the Manage link really quickly to explain what you can expect to find in there. So in the Library tab of the Kaltura Capture, you're going to see all the Kaltura videos that you've already made and saved. In the Settings tab, which is the second tab, you're going to have the option to alter your camera and screen recording quality. We don't generally recommend switching from the preset settings, but we want to let you know that it's in there, and that is a possibility. Right, so in order to make a new recording, I'm going to click the red button up here that says New Recording. And once I do that, it's going to take me back to the little.
Hey, Jenny.
Yes.
We can't actually see the like pop-up that I'm guessing popped for you because Zoom has kept us in your browser. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's saying I'm sharing.
We can see your main browser window, but not the little. There it is. Yay.
Can you see it? I'm so sorry.
We can. That's perfect.
Can you guys see this Kaltura Library on screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
No worries.
Right, so the Kaltura Library is where you're going to see all the Kaltura videos that you've already created and saved. And in the second tab, there's the settings I was talking about. You can alter your quality, camera and screen recording quality. We don't, again, generally recommend you switch in, but if you have a slow connection.
I just add one thing though. In the past, when faculty have had the camera quality and the screen recording quality on different settings, sometimes that has created issues with the recording. So Jenny, I actually would recommend you put them both on 720 while we're here.
Okay, sounds good. Right, so in order to make a new recording, you're going to click the red button up here that says New Recording. Once I do that, it's going to take me back to this little toolbar here. You can select the screen dropdown to select which screen you want to use, or to select a particular area of the screen that you want to capture. You can use the camera dropdown to select which camera you want to use, or the audio dropdown to select which speaker you want to use. And if you use more than one webcam or speaker, especially you want to make sure that you're using the webcam and or speaker that you're intending to use. So once you're ready to start recording, you can start recording by pressing the red button right here. I'm going to do that right now, and we found that Kaltura Capture does not like recording video while you're simultaneously recording video on Zoom. So I'm just going to turn my webcam off for this and start recording. All right, so do you guys see the little toolbar in the right corner of the screen here? Okay, great. I'm going to show you some of the cool features that we have available here. You can click the pencil icon here, and you can actually use a whiteboard in Kaltura by pressing on this whiteboard icon. You can use the draw icon to write or to draw whatever your heart desires. You can use the text icon to type in directly into whiteboard. And you can use the arrow icon to draw an arrow in any direction. If you decide what you've created in the whiteboard isn't actually all that useful, you can use the trash icon to get rid of it all. Another cool feature that we have here is the ability to pause and resume recordings. So to pause, you're going to press the red button here, and then to resume, you're going to press the red button again. Some faculty members, including Stacy, have found it especially useful to pause, unpause, and pause during a slideshow presentation between slides, because it makes the presentation look seamless while you're actually shifting between slides and catching a breath and doing whatever you need to do. If you find that you don't want to keep this recording, after all, you can click the X here to get rid of it, cancel recording. And once you're done recording, you can choose to stop recording by pressing the stop recording icon here. I'm gonna do that really quickly. All right, do you guys see the Kaltura screen? Great. So here, excuse me, here, after you stop recording, you can play your video back for a quality check. And there's 3 options that you have with your video here. You can delete it, which will delete the video entirely. You can save the video, and doing this will save the video to your Kaltura library, but it won't upload it into Brightspace automatically. If you save and upload the video, it's going to save the video in your Kaltura library, and it's also going to upload it in Brightspace, where it will show up in the My Media tab. If you initially just save the video, you can go back and upload it by pressing the upload button in your Kaltura video library. All right, so I'm going to go back to My Media.
So I'm to step in again, Jenny.
Oh, yeah,
I just kind of want to point out that that's actually one of the cool things about Kaltura Capture is you can only use it when Brightspace is open. It's connected to Brightspace, but this is actually a program that's on your computer. You're creating videos on your computer and saving them on your computer. And it's only when you click save and upload that it actually goes into Brightspace to become available to you. So you could, if you need a few takes, you can delete all those and know that none of them are going to get to Brightspace unless you click upload. And even then, none of the videos you upload are going to make it to your students unless you go find that insert stuff button and connect the videos to your course that way.
Right. Are you guys seeing the My Media tab on my page, on my screen? My bad. Okay. In the My Media, you should see Kaltura videos that you've already uploaded. As Stacy said, there's no obligation to upload them if you feel like you need to take a few tries to get it right. But once they're uploaded into Brightspace, this is what it's going to look like. You can change the title at any point, but the default title will be something like Kaltura Capture Recording, date of recording, time of recording. You can edit the title by going in, oops, my bad, by clicking the pencil icon and typing in your desired title. You can also put in a description. You have to save those, please don't forget that. And you can click on the Publish tab to publish your media page to people in certain destinations. I'm not going to do it right now, but that way you can share your video with certain courses, if that's your goal. The Options tab is going to allow you to enable or disable comments for you and for you to enable clipping of the video. The collaboration tab is going to allow you to add media collaborators who also be able to work with the video. The thumbnails tab will allow you to set a thumbnail using various options. The downloads tab is going to allow you to allow or disallow downloading of the source. The captions tab, if you have a captions file already, you can upload it here in a supported file type. The attachments tab, it's going to allow you to attach a file onto the video. The timeline tab is going to allow you to create chapters for the video and turn it into a timeline of sorts with slides. And the replace media tab, it's going to allow you to overwrite the video with a file of your choosing. And if you feel like at the end of the day, the video is no longer something that you need, you can delete it in here as well. And just quickly, I think we addressed it a little bit before. Another option to record videos is to use Zoom. And to record on Zoom, you have to make sure that your Zoom account settings allows you to record. In account settings, under the recording tab, the local recording option should be enabled. Sorry, I can't demo it right now because I'm in Zoom directly. But once that's set, you can start the Zoom meeting as a host and click the record button. And you can upload this in the same My Media tab that we're just in by clicking Add New Media Upload and choose a file to upload. So another video tool that we have is that we're wanting to talk about in this workshop is a little different. It's basically a video annotation tool called GoReact. I'm going to turn this now over to Kelly, who is from GoReact, and she's going to demo GoReact, and she'll be able to answer any questions that you may have about it.
Actually, before we turn it over to Kelly, I have one more thing to share. Sorry.
Yes.
So do you mind if I share my screen?
Sure.
There we go. What we've shown you so far is like the desktop video storage and creation options. So there's several available in Brightspace, including My Media, all the tools you need to create, store, and share videos on Brightspace are provided here for you. But there's going to be some of us who want to make a slightly more professional video than what we can do on our laptop. Like I've got my, $15 earbuds in, and I'm working on my laptop in my noisy house with my dog sleeping next to me. For the times when I want to create something a little bit more professional, there are actually options for that also. So I just wanted to make sure you all know about the One Button Studio. This is in the Baker building, which is like, West End and 21st, or I think that's 21st. This is basically, you take your laptop, it's a professional studio, you take your laptop and a flash drive, you plug your laptop and the flash drive in, you push literally one button and you stand in front of a screen and record yourself, and you look just like you are in a TV studio. You are in a TV studio, and you leave with a professional looking recording that you can upload to Kaltura and then deploy anywhere you want it. There's also this, so this is the One Button Studio. This has been around for a while. There's also the Digital Media Lab, and we got to take a tour of this place last Thursday, and it blew my mind. I have so many ideas for things I want to create in there. Do y'all know where the new Faculty Commons building is? Next, it's on 18th. It's actually right across the street from the Center for Teaching. It's that old church right next to the Wesley Place garage that Vanderbilt bought and has been renovating for like 2 years. They've turned it into a faculty commons, and one of the features there on, like, when you first go in, you go downstairs and there is a genuine, legit TV studio with amazing equipment and digital media specialists who will help you learn how to use the equipment. They have a light board that you can write on and record yourself as you're writing on it. They have a little like talk show setup so you can conduct interviews there. There's a podcasting station with the most amazing microphones. There's a document camera so that you can record your hands, like writing on paper or demoing something. And all of it is available for faculty or grad students or anyone who's involved with teaching. And there are specialists there who can help. So on the 23rd, there's going to be an open house at the Digital Commons. I would really, really encourage you guys to go check it out, because I did not think I would need to use the Digital Media Lab before I went over, but now that I have seen it, I must figure out a way to use it because it's so cool. So hopefully you guys will find the same. And once you get those media files, those are going to be huge media files that can easily be uploaded to Kaltura and then deployed anywhere you want them to go. Okay, now that PSA is over, and I'll put the links to the One Button Studio and the Digital Media Open House in the chat, and turn it over to Kelly to talk about our exciting tool that we've only had licenses for about a year now. And so I'm excited to see how I can learn more about it as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly Fitzgerald. I'm your client success manager from GoReact. So my role is to first introduce you to what GoReact is, talk through different ways that you can use it. And then, of course, if you do find yourself wanting to use this tool, part of what I do is talk to faculty about the exact assignments that they want to use it for, or the ideas that they have with GoReact and how to implement it for you and your students to make it work best for you. I'm excited to show you what we have with GoReact today. GoReact is a video feedback tool. So think about any video that you have that you work with your students on. GoReact most likely has a way for your students to be involved with that. I'm going to show you 3 different ways of using GoReact, but the very first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you just the basic feedback options that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say I do have a Brightspace sandbox at GoReact, but it was not letting me log in this morning, so I'm showing through goreact.com. But for you, what is really fantastic is you have it integrated into Brightspace already, which means you do not need to go to goreact.com and create an account. Your students do not need to go anywhere else. It's single sign-on, and you get that grade pass back. So if you grade anything through a GoReact assignment, that grade goes back to your Brightspace gradebook. But everything that I show you today will still be applicable through Brightspace and will look identical to it too. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what an assignment might look like when it's completed, meaning this example is one where a student would upload a video and you would be giving feedback to the student. Now, this could obviously be any type of video that a student is uploading. It could be an observation, it could be a presentation, it could just be them talking through what their idea is for their next essay. But we're going to go ahead and click into this video. I'm going to talk you through the feedback options and what this looks like and how it functions. So we've got the video here on the left side, and this is the standard for GoReact. This is what you would see every time you open up a video submission. So you would see the video here on the left side, and all of your feedback would be able to be seen on the right. We're going to start with this box, the lines down here below. So in the text box, you can go ahead and just start looking at your video. And when you see feedback that you want to give, all you do is start typing. So I might say, great job introducing the lesson to your students, and you can keep going. But what's really magical about this is that we actually pause the video for you so that your focus is solely on the feedback. You're watching the video, you're very involved, you're in the moment giving feedback, and you don't have to worry about play and pause and, oh man, I missed that spot. You just start typing when you feel like you need to give some feedback. So when you're done, you just press enter on your keyboard. and we automatically play the video for you again. But here's the other really magical piece about Go React is that every comment and every piece of feedback is timestamped, and it's going to go in chronological order. So when your student goes back to this video and they go to see any feedback that you left, they would see it in the order of the video. So the other great thing is that, let's say they have a question on some feedback that you gave, and they said, I don't really remember that part, or did I really say that? They can click on any piece of feedback and we take them back to that moment in the video. We actually take them to a couple seconds before so that they can see context leading up to that spot. And now we're taking the video evidence of what they've shown us and your feedback and tied it together, which definitely improves the student learning, because then they're able to really see in the moment. Whereas when they do an observation or a presentation, I was a communications major myself, and I know I gave countless presentations, and I don't even remember what they were on, but I know I would sit down and I would get my piece of paper back that had all of my feedback, and I'd say, okay, yeah, I think I've heard that one before, or, oh man, I don't really remember saying that or doing that. This brings everything together. So of course we have text feedback. You can leave as many text feedbacks as you like. We can just add more here. All of them you can reply to. So if your student has left some I'm losing my words here. If your students haven't left some self-guided feedback, they can go ahead and either reply to you, or you can reply to them, and you can have a conversation all about that specific moment. But we're going to move on to other types of feedback because we have a lot of them. We know students learn in different ways. We also know the instructors have different preferences. So one really awesome feedback option is the video feedback. So if you see something in video and you'd rather talk about it, for maybe you would like to show them how to do something, or you'd like to model behavior, or you'd like to make sure that your tone and everything is conveyed the right way, you can just turn on your video camera and talk to the student rather than typing everything out. So the video feedback is another option for you, and definitely helps a student kind of drive home certain pieces of feedback that you might be giving them. Audio feedback works the same way, but maybe you just don't want to show your camera, so you just do a quick audio snippet here. And I have some faculty who just prefer to give audio feedback because it's a lot easier for them to type everything out. But whenever you click on any of these icons, it's going to go ahead and pause that video for you so that you can record your video or your audio. We also have these different upload and video options here for you. Upload just means if you have a video file that you'd like to share with the student about a particular moment in time, maybe you want to show them how to do that skill again, and you have a really great video that shows how to do that. Or maybe you want to have them watch a video that explains the concept to them that they're kind of missing in that video. You can upload that here. We also have a YouTube integration, so if that video is on YouTube, you can paste that URL here. And then the library basically alludes to, if you have ever uploaded a video into Go React, that video will stay here. So if you tend to use the same video to explain things to your students, you can just put that in your library and then use that every time that you need to share with your students instead of uploading it every time. The last one I'll talk through here is the Endnote. So your Endnote is meant to be more of a summary or a reflection space. We give you the 2,000 characters here to work with, but what's also different is it's not timestamped and it's not hyperlinked. So this will always stay at the end of your comment thread. This means if you leave feedback earlier in the video, or you go back after you write your Endnote, it's always going to be at the bottom no matter what. And your students can use all of these feedback options too. So now think about your students doing some self-reflection and how they might use the video tool. If your students are doing a presentation and they say, man, I thought of a really great introduction, but it was after I presented. I obviously know you're going to grade what I did, but can you give me some feedback on this other idea I have? Or, hey, I know I did this skill slightly wrong. I'm going to practice it here so that you can also give me feedback on this too. So this really allows the feedback to be more dynamic rather than just a stagnant version of feedback for them. I wanted to go through this bottom line first because this is This is standard on every single Go React video. You do not need to have any different settings on your assignment for these to happen. There are two optional things that I really love. The first are these colored boxes. These are called markers. And anybody who ever talks to me knows that markers are my favorite tool in Go React ever. And there's a couple of good reasons for that. Markers are pre-created comments and they're customizable. So you get to create markers. You get to decide what they are. I like to think of markers as guideposts for feedback. Students can use them. So if you want your students to use them to analyze their video, it's a great way for them to hone in on what they're focusing on rather than everything. Just say, okay, we're really looking at these principles today in this video, in this observation, in this presentation. They're also really helpful if you tend to write the same feedback over and over and over again. So for presentations, if you're constantly talking about body language, eye contact, pacing, tone, those kinds of things can just help you save a lot of time. So the way they work is if we're watching this video and we see one of these markers that we want to comment on, all you do is just click on the marker and it gets timestamped and hyperlinked just like a regular text comment would. And maybe you see a couple of different options here and you can go through and click them as many times as you need to. And there's two things I want to point out about these. The first is you can reply to these. If you're going to have your students use markers, I highly recommend asking your students to reply to the marker and to expand on what they saw there. This is because markers are really great, but we want to make sure that the students understand the actual concept in the marker rather than just clicking on it to say, oh, I left some comments there. So a lot of my faculty that I work with really love having the students respond here so that you know that they know exactly what this means and exactly why this was a good example of redirecting or whatever that marker might be. The second reason I love markers is because at the bottom of every video, we have a feedback graph, which is essentially a timeline of all the feedback that you gave on the student's video. And we tally up how many times each marker was used. So now it becomes a data point for you. You can have the same set of markers on maybe the first and last assignment that you're going to do in the course, and then you're able to see how well the student was able to maneuver and increase their abilities by, okay, this time they had 3 good examples of assessment, but I didn't see any differentiation in their teaching. So at the end of the semester, I hope I see more differentiation in their teaching. So I love markers. Like I said, I could talk all day long about them. So I'm here if you need more ideas or want to talk through them. But then we also have rubrics. So I mentioned before that if you have any grading of a Go React assignment, you can actually put that in Go React and grade it right here, right next to that video, right where your comments and feedback are. And that grade will be passed back to your gradebook in Brightspace. So if you're watching this and you say, okay, they did really great here, I'm going to go ahead and give them that one. And if you had even more on this rubric, you can go through and choose that. And when you're done and you click post, that 5 out of 5 goes back to your gradebook. So it saves you a little bit of time there. So this is essentially what Go React is. I did want to show you just a couple of quick things here. The first is we actually have an option to do group sessions. So anytime that you have students meeting remotely, or maybe you would like to meet with your students remote, you can have up to 9 people meet at the same time in these groups. And it looks kind of like a mini Zoom session, but it's in Go React and it's all recorded right here. So that's really, just super fantastic. And you can pre-create the groups for your students so that they can say, okay, I know I'm meeting with, my friends over here and we're ready to meet at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. So 11 o'clock on Tuesday, they come in, they find their name and they just click join. And then they see their friends pop up and they can go ahead and record. And after it's recorded, you can go in and give your feedback just like you would any other pre-recorded video in Go React. We also have what we call comment only. So any video that you would like to upload and you would like your students to annotate, you can use that in Go React as well. So for example, you can use a video to talk about any concept, or maybe it's a TED talk that you want your students to analyze, or if you're teaching a language, you want the students to be able to understand that video and answer some questions about it. You can use rubrics and student rubrics. So the student has to fill out a rubric for that video. And you can also use markers. So the students have to identify what they see in that video with the markers that you've added here. And they can, of course, leave text, video, and audio comments as well. So this is putting them in the driver's seat of that feedback. It's a little bit less pressure to give feedback on a video that's not yours, but you can see how well they can analyze the different topics that they're learning about and where your students are missing pieces and where they're picking things up. So the last one I wanted to talk to you about is a stimulus assignment. Stimulus is a little bit of a combination of the two. So our first one we looked at was standard. Standard means the student uploads. The second was a comment only, and comment only means that the instructor uploads. Stimulus is both. So you as the instructor would upload a video prompt and your students would upload a video response. So this might be like a mock interview. So you upload a series of questions that you'd like your student to answer, or maybe it's a pop quiz, but done verbally, and you'd like to have them answer those questions on video. Maybe it's a situation, and this is for teacher education, where maybe last year they didn't see as many in-person situations as they would have in a regular year. So you can upload a video and have your student respond to that situation, verbally explaining and talking through what they would do with that student or in that situation there. Another one is foreign language and interpreting. You can have your video watching the student and interpreting and recording at the same time. So there's a lot of really good options here with the stimulus that, if you think creatively and outside the box, there's just a lot that you can do with this. But ultimately, it's just a fantastic tool to have your students dig a little bit deeper with feedback and with that video that they are already either recording, or maybe it's a presentation that they're doing in class that you like to start recording and giving this feedback on. A couple of quick things too, you can have private videos. That means it's between the student and you, or you can have peer review. So students can comment on each other's videos and they can kind of do some collaboration there. And then with the stimulus and the comment only, sometimes I see instructors use we have like a little test type tool where students can only record one submission. And if you do it with stimulus, it will record them watching your video, and they wouldn't be able to, there we go. They wouldn't be able to stop recording until they were ready to submit that video. So it is a continuous record. So you're seeing their reaction to what you're posting and then having to respond to that. I know I went a little bit long, but I hope this was helpful. I'm happy to answer any questions. Do we have any questions on what GoReact is or how it can be used? All right. Well, if you ever do have questions, I'll put my email address in the chat so you can reach out to me. And then we also have a fantastic tech support team. So if your students ever run into a tech issue, GoReact has specific error messages that mean specific things. And so it is technology. They can always reach out to us, and we're happy to walk them through that, or you can reach out to us too. But I will go ahead and put my email address here in the chat. And I am so excited to work with you again this year. I love working with your school. I've worked with your teacher education program for the last couple of years, and then the whole school last year, and looking forward to this year too. Have a great beginning of the semester, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, Kelly. That was really useful. I got, as usual, tons of ideas of how I might experiment with GoReact this year. So thanks.
Yeah, of course.
So y'all, we have done our part, and we have 8 minutes left to answer questions and show you specific things. So does anyone have questions or want to see something demoed on Brightspace? We're at your disposal.
Stacy, I was playing around with GoReact Vanderbilt, and I found a different link that talks about integrating GoReact into your Brightspace course. I'll put that in chat. I found it a little more helpful when it talked about setting up a GoReact account. So I'll share that.
Great.
We also have some student-facing resources on Go React. I can pop it into the chat now. It's written for students in mind, but it might be helpful for you to be able to access them as well.
Thanks, Jenny. One of the projects Jenny's been working on since she joined us is trying to make sure that we have as many student-facing resources available as possible for these integration tools. For Go React and other tools like Go React, you can usually go to the company to get all your questions answered and to find demos and support for students. On the other hand, we do have a large library for students that shows how Brightspace works and how to get to the tools from Brightspace. So Jenny's been adding to that a lot. So thank you for the link. All right, well, if no one else has any questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up and give y'all 5 minutes of your day back. But I do want to encourage you, as you're experimenting with these tools, keep us in mind. Reach out to us if you have questions, brightspace@vanderbilt.edu for all this stuff. We're happy to answer specific questions or give you ideas for what you might need to do next. If you're interested in any of the studios, that's also a CFT project. The Brightspace team doesn't manage it, but we can definitely put you in touch with the people who do and make sure you get to the right place. If you need Go React support, we don't provide support for Go React, but we know who does, and we can forward your questions along and make sure you get to the right place. So even if you're not sure if we're the right ones to help, please feel free to come to us. We're happy to point you in the right direction. And then just personally, I am very interested in learning more about what people actually are doing with these tools. So if you do cool stuff, report back, because I want to share and copy and beg, steal, and borrow. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a good start to your semester.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Abby.